All right, it's going to be a relatively short lesson today. We're going to talk about planar graphs, and planar comes from the word plane, which is a two-dimensional surface. And basically, we can say that a three-dimensional graph is planar if you can make an isomorphism that can be drawn two-dimensionally without crossing any edges. So what I've got is this three-dimensional cube labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and I've kind of rearranged it. I've kind of flattened it so that it is on one plane. All of the vertices that were joined by an edge in the three-dimensional drawing are still joined together in the two-dimensional drawing. So the adjacency matrix would be the same. If you remember the definition of what an isomorphism is. So basically, I need to look at what makes a planar graph or a connected graph planar by definition. If you remember from geometry, there was a rule that Euler came up with as far as three-dimensional solids go that says that the number of edges plus 2 has to equal the number of faces plus the number of vertices. That applies here too, but instead of calling them faces, we're calling them regions because we are now talking two-dimensionally. So if I look at the number of edges in this graph, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got 12 edges here, and 2 is just 2. Now let's count the number of vertices. And it goes from A to H, so those are my vertices. That means there's 8 of those, which means that the number of regions has to be 6 in order for this to hold. Well, if I look at my three-dimensional drawing, it's pretty easy to see that there's 6 faces there. But how do I get 6 regions out of this graph here when all I see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enclosed areas? Well, the trick is you have to include the outside of the graph as a region. So the entire outside of the graph is also a region. That's our 6th region, and that's what makes Euler's rule for planar graphs work. And you'll always have to include that other region as the 6th region. So that's planar graphs in a really, really short lesson. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.